I don't know what age it is that I hold up inside.
Hey Jake.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. So we've got The Love and Death of Damnation. Now it seems to me your career it's been a pretty organic route to this point so far. It doesn't seem like it's been some great strategic marketing plan that's brought you through to this album. It seems quite natural.
Yeah, it has been. I mean, I've been, for a long time I was just an independent artist that would put out my own music. There would be nothing. There would be no advance date. I would just, if it would be recorded, I would just put it out on iTunes and print them up and sell them at shows. That was the beginning of it, and that was probably the first 5-6 years of my career. Was that just me doing it and not having any help at all, and not really caring, and just kind of building things one at a time, but not having any machine or any kind of press or anything. It's a very do-it-yourself thing. But even today, it is similar.
Yeah. So you still sort of kept some of that DIY kind of ethos.
For sure. I mean, as almost in all respects of what I do musically, it's all very organic and very raw and pure. Even the recording process, as well as the live situation, is either just me and a guitar or me and a trio with there's no effects, there's no, it's just an acoustic guitar through the house and a drummer and a bass player. And then just how we run my business, I often want to just take the money home to my family instead of getting a bunch of roadies and tech, crew. Like, we load our own stuff. I drive the van. It's like, it's very, it's not, I don't come from a total punk background, but it's kind of that same ethos where you just do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of the songwriting, is that a similar thing? Is it like, when you've talked about your songwriting being quite natural, not easy and songs just falling out, but just letting it kind of happen, put yourself in a situation where you can be creative rather than I'm going to a studio to create.
Right.
Is that a similar thing in terms of the way you express yourself when you write songs? Is it all just let it happen? Yeah.
I mean, and I've been lucky enough to be on, even on the label that I am today, is there's no pressure to really do anything that's outside of that, I just whatever comes out is okay, and it's pretty limitless of what I could write. And there's no pressure to try to stay in a box or write a radio smash.
In terms of songwriting, when a song is happening, when you can feel a song coming together, do you one of these writers that kind of fine tune things, or is it like it's about the moment, we got to capture that moment, let's just have it as it's coming out?
I think that initial spark, that initial moment is, I think, the best when it's just such a fresh idea, and the idea comes from nowhere, from the ethos or wherever it comes from. And that moment where I think the melody of that part of when that's initially made up is the best melody it's going to be. And if hopefully I captured it on my phone or my recorder or whatever. But a lot of it is not the content or whatever I'm making up when I'm starting to write a song. Is not, a lot of it's just gibberish, and then I'll listen back to it, or while I'm singing, something will come out that will be interesting or that will be cool, and then I'll say, oh, what does that mean, or what could that mean? And then I craft a song off of that, and it could go a million different directions.
So very organic.
Super, yeah. I mean, yeah. As organic as it can get, I think. I don't know. I mean, that's how I write. I don't know if other people write like that, but
something like Go the Distance seems to be it's a very real life scenario. Seems to be very, very personal. Is that, how much of yourself do you put in the songs? Is that you tapping into your experiences, or you as an observer?
Yeah, I mean, a song like that is fairly autobiographical, but even the ones that are more autobiographical are still kind of skewed versions of the truth, where song and rhymes and different, I don't know, I try to hold a little bit back, but I mean, some of them are completely fantastic. Obviously there's songs that people, get murdered or...
And you don't do a lot of that.
I don't do a lot of that, I'm trying to keep my murder count considerably down. But yeah, some of them are completely fantastic, and some of them are kind of skewed versions of the truth or of my own life experiences.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting listening to the record. Because I feel you're quite a romantic guy. There's a romance in your heart. At the same time, there's that grit there as well, and there's a kind of humour with the romance, and there's a certain edge to it. Do you cast yourself as a romantic kind of writer?
I don't
It's
know.
there.
I think there's love and emotion in especially on this album. There's more kind of positivity and the idea of love and holding it there, where it's not always heartbreak or some kind of darkness.
So why is it like that for this record now, do you think?
I kind of made a conscious and unconscious, because the songwriting process, at least at the beginning, is such an unconscious thing for me. But then I made a conscious effort to kind of keep it positive, because I always tend, it's so easy for me to go to the dark side or go, it always seems to, I didn't want to have to try to just rip your heart out on every song. I wanted it to feel good and sound good and make people feel good, both melodically and with the lyrics, and keep it positive. Just sort of the fact that it's part of life, and love and happiness is part of life. And I'm actually quite a happy person for the most part. I mean, people wouldn't really expect it from a lot of my music, but yeah, I am, and I wanted that to be represented.
Yeah, something like "Come On Love, Come On It" is it's a very uplifting song, and it has got there's these different elements musically to that track, and also a lot of the record. There's the kind of Memphis sound going on, a bit of gospel coming in. Was that like trying to stretch yourself musically with this record even more than you've done before? Yeah,
for sure. Both the idea of kind of writing some more positive songs, as well as some of the grooves or some of the genres, to try to expand that a little bit. Especially that song was a complete departure.
Yeah.
I think it still holds up, and I think people could still tell it's me from singing, but it actually allowed me to expand vocally or try these other things. I mean, I always loved singers like Otis Redding or Joe Cocker or stuff like that, and to be able to try to do something similar to that was exciting. And then even songs like "Home Is in Your Arms" or has almost a more riffy kind of swampy groove, as opposed to the more kind of cordial thing that I often do, which was trying to be kind of more expansive.
Yeah. Is it good for you to maybe put yourself into genres that maybe you haven't done before? Keep a little bit, nervous. Keep yourself in positions that are going to be working harder.
I think you always have to grow and try new things, and if they work, they work. If they don't, go back to something else.
Go back to something else.
Yeah.
I do love this idea of you, like in your kind of little shed, just kind of, they call it sort of woodcrafting or wood chopping, when you just go away and you just get good at something.
Oh yeah,
and
woodshedding.
Woodshedding.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, and the thing is, you've actually got a wood shed.
Yeah.
That you use for.
It's made of mostly wood. I think it's got some drywall on it, but yeah.
I just got this lovely idea of you just sort of wandering in, some point in the afternoon, getting a drink, sitting there and starting to write. Is it as
simple as that? It is. Yeah. I mean, it's like a separate garage from the house, and I just go out the door and into that door, and it's a whole different. It's just I don't know. For me, at least, I need a little privacy and a little. Even though if my family's not judging me while I'm sitting and writing, I still like to have that kind of openness where there's no interruptions and there's no there's no self-doubt in a place where you feel totally comfortable. But mine happens to be in just a dirty garage with bikes and surfboards and tools and wood and bullshit.
Yeah. We have to talk about Modern Times. We've got to talk about the video, because it's just. We're talking about joy. We're talking about this uplifting song, this brilliant song that just barrels along. Sits on this fantastic groove, and there's you, and you sort of come on at the start of the video, and people might make some sort of judgments about the kind of artist you are from hearing certain songs, and then you just bust it out.
Break out. Dance,
you break out when the idea for it, because it's a brilliant video. I love it. It's so.
No, I've actually had that concept for a while. I mean, all my other videos, the majority of them, are all of them, are way more cinematic and slow and long shots and close shots of me performance, but they're all very emotional. I just wanted something that was a little more lighthearted, that was fun, and just show the world that I could really dance. No.
You can really dance though. You can move.
I mean, for a larger person, probably I could move better than some. But yeah, it was a song, and I like the idea of the juxtaposition of one of the song being I mean, the song is essentially about old man angst. Kind of, he's angry or pissed about the fact that, the modern age, he doesn't feel like he belongs, and there's all this technology and corporations taking over, and he doesn't appreciate it. So I kind of like that against the kind of comedy almost of the dance.
About comedy.
Yeah.
How much?
It's quite aerobic.
It was good. Aerobics. I sort of imagine you like with one of those big mirrored walls with the bar on it, and like leg warmers, doing your stretches first.
Yeah.
Was it quite spontaneous rather than
very spontaneous? Yeah. I mean, it was probably 4 or 5 takes of just doing different things, just going through my catalog of moves.
We'll do a number 26 at that point.
There it is.
I mean, is it fun and important to kind of maybe change people's perceptions of the kind of artist they think you might be?
I think so. I mean, I think that was, I don't know. I just wanted to do something different and shocking, not shocking, but just something different.
Yeah.
I'd always done this other thing. I'd had that idea in my mind of just like simple set, just dancing to something that was, the other side of it was a little darker, a little,
Yeah.
So I think it came out fun. Yeah.
Yeah.